There was two blokes coming, and I said to someone, yeah, I'll see you later. And this really tall bloke, he turned around to me and said, yeah, I'll see you later on also. Like him and his mate, he said, we're friends with Pat and Tony Tucker. And he said, Pat and Tony's offered us a lot of money, up to about 10 grand to do you while we're in prison.
Despite the countless intrusions into my life, I'd remained a keen bodybuilder, and so I applied for, and was given, a job as a gym orderly. After a game of baseball one day, I'd been walking back across the sports field towards the wing with a baseball bat resting on my shoulder. I'd hung a bag containing the ball, gloves, and various other items we'd been using to play on the end of the bat. As we reached the door to the wing, someone had said, "I'll see you later, Steve," and another voice behind me added, "Yes, and I will see you too, Steve." It sounded like a veiled threat to me, so I turned around and said to the person behind me, "Who the fuck are you?" "I'm Mickey, Pat Tate's mate," he replied. When I raised the baseball bat in readiness to launch Mickey's head across the prison yard, the bag of accessories slid down the shaft of the bat and onto my wrist. Feeling somewhat foolish, I threw the bag onto the floor and swung the bat backwards in readiness to strike. Billy Archer grabbed me and began shouting, Whoa, Nipper, leave it out, he's alright." Mickey raised his open hands to indicate there was no threat of violence, so I lowered the bat. Mickey introduced himself as Mad Mickey Bowman from South London and said that he'd only been joking about being a friend of Pat Tate. "Me and Billy Archer are in here because of a bit of business we were going to do with Tate and his mate Tucker. I don't trust the geezers," Mickey said. He told me that he and Billy had arranged to meet Tate and Tucker at the Happy Eater restaurant in Basildon, the fast food outlet that Tate had robbed many years earlier. I have no idea what Billy and Mickey were planning to do that involved Tate and Tucker, but Mickey did tell me that when they arrived for the meeting, he instinctively smelt a rat. Call it intuition, a sixth sense, whatever, it didn't feel right. And so I said to Billy, "Let's get the f*** out of here." Billy thought that Mickey was just being paranoid and tried to reassure him that everything would be okay. Billy reversed the vehicle into the parking bay and the two men waited for the arrival of Tucker and Tate. When there was no sign of them after 30 minutes, Billy looked across at Mickey in the passenger seat and said, "You're right, mate. Something stinks. Let's get out of here." As Billy started up the engine and prepared to drive out of the car park, several armed police officers jumped out the back of a nearby van and surrounded his car. I have no idea what, if anything, the police found in the vehicle, but Billy and Mickey found themselves on remand in HMP Chelmsford awaiting trial. They certainly didn't need Sherlock Holmes to work out they'd been set up, and neither man was very happy about it. While in HMP Chelmsford, Billy and Mickey were reliably informed by none other than Pat Tate that it had been Tucker who had been responsible for their arrest. According to Tate, Tucker had heard that Billy and Mickey were intent on taking part of his business over and so decided to have them removed. I cannot say if Tate was simply blaming Tucker to deflect blame from himself. Alone and in prison, it can be dangerous if other inmates think you're an informant. Billy and Mickey chose to believe Tate, and good relations between the men were restored. When Tate found out they had been talking to me, he offered them £10,000 to have me done in my cell, but to their credit, they refused point blank to get involved. "Watch your back, Tate is trying to get you murdered," Billy warned me. "If you do have any further plans with him, or those other mugs, let me and Mickey know, and we will back you. Tate's an okay guy, but he does need putting in his place occasionally."
There was two blokes coming, and I was walking out to the field, and I said to someone, yeah, I'll see you later. And this really tall bloke, dark, he turned around to me and said, yeah, I'll see you later on also. I said, "Oh, still you?" He said, "Nipper." I said, "Yeah." And at the time I was carrying out the stuff for the baseball. And he said, him and his mate, he said, "We're friends with Pat Tate and Tony Tucker." I said, "Yeah, you're fucking alright." He said, "Well, come and do it now." I grabbed the skill and I was going to smash him down the head. He said, "Woo." He said, "We know the score on this." And he said, "Pat and Tony's offered us a lot of money, up to about 10 grand to do you while we're in prison." He said, "But we now know the side of the story and we're not going to get involved." There was a suspected gun in the prison, and one of the POs, like principal officer, he called me in the office and he said, we think the gun might be for you."